You know, when you hear people keep saying, the devil made me do it, she made me do it, he made me do it, the job made me do it, I had no other choice, it's just, I had to do it. And seriously, they did it. If it's not a case of self-defense or something, come on, here's something. You always have an option. I believe you have an option, because if God controlling everything in the world, God always gives us an option. Unless it's a massive flood or some disaster, impending disaster, and doom coming to you, and you just like, you can't get to you can't escape it, that's different. But in options, options where you say you can make a choice to save life or to lose life, to save life or to harm life, to save your own or to save somebody else, to save your child's or to save, it's like that. To help or not to help, to build or to destroy, like Ecclesiastes in the Bible. You always have an option. So you can't say, someone made me do it, because there's no gun to put to your head, literally. So why do you do it? Oh, because most times it's for conveniences. I needed to get from here to there. I need to go here. Like I always think of, look at some of the videos of animals trying to cross. See, like you see, and I get so sad to watch. I can't even watch some of the videos anymore, like Nat Geo and videos about, like in Wild America, or videos about, animals. Because I don't want to see animals eating and harming and killing each other, especially crocodiles eating the wildebeest and those creatures. There's videos like that where he says like, oh, I can't sit there either. Cheers, Rocky. Let me sit over here. Like they have to cross the animal migration, like the wild buffaloes or something have to cross, and they have to go across croc-infested lakes. All right, and just to get across the other side, they have to go across those alligators and the crocs, and some of them they go to get a drink of water, and it's like grab them by their head, their face, their leg, their body, and pull them down to the water and drown them. I can't watch those things. Honestly, I can't look at it no more. I just, the more I study God's word, the more I see humanity, the more I work at the hospital, the more you think I'd be more thing to it. I cannot stand to see people harming anybody else. I cannot stand to see people hurting anybody, and to make any people suffer, and to see them bleed or to die. People doing cruel things to each other, beating each other, jumping each other. When we were kids or when you're smaller, elementary, high school, people did bad things to us. People robbed us, people jumped us, or took our jackets, our coats back in Granada Plaza in Brooklyn. They did a lot of stuff to us growing up there. It was not nice. They took our stuff and embarrassed, humiliated. We went to make police report. Nothing was done. Now we had an option then. Could they get angry, get armed up, and go out there and get retribution, go back to the same area, wait for them, and gut them, shoot them? Would that have been the solution? Yeah, I know God said if you live by the sword, you should die by the sword. So suppose you're going to shoot them and you miss, and they shoot back. Suppose you're going to stab them and you miss, or they have a bigger gun than you or a bigger knife than you. So you just, say, just let it go. Say, okay, we made a report, called victim services, and felt victimized twice because they didn't do anything for us. They didn't call us back. They didn't care. It's like, it happens. Okay, sit down, sit down. They didn't even bother checking out. They just like, young kids robbing and beating each other. Some places is like that. Other places, some friends and some family members, some other groups take it into their own hand and go try to seek retribution and justice. That's why most people get in gangs and stuff to say, hey, don't pick on me. Don't threaten me. But some of them also say they want to be in families, they want to be loved, they want to be embraced, they want to roll people of same like mindset. Some people get tricked into it, some people get kidnapped into it, some people get threatened into it. There are a lot of things that can happen, and some people told this for initiations to go there to get into the gang, you gotta harm another person, take another life, or harm another life, and then it's like, do you really want to be in something like that? Some of them tell you if you don't do it, they'll get you. Now that's a difficult one. If you were to harm somebody, you violate God's law. If you don't harm yourself, you violate God's law. They say if you don't harm somebody else, they'll kill you instead. Sometimes you have to make that tough decision to harm yourself rather than harm somebody else. Because if you harm somebody else and violate God's law, you will then be harmed later on. And you will die for murder and homicide. You will be burned and be eternally destroyed. If we willfully go sin against God and remain adamant and unrepentant, we could die that instant in our sins if God wills it. If you say, nah, man, I'm not going to do it, and the people then harm you, or sadly do that to you. Could man have to be talking about a topic like this? Only because it exists. Literally, if you don't harm, he said, kill or be killed. Might makes right. If you don't get in the gang, look at some of the groups you see in Mexico and some of the gangs and stuff here, the shootouts, fighting about war over drugs and fentanyl and stuff and crime and stuff. We have an option. If there's not a market, there would not be They would not be trying to give it to you. If there's no market for guns, they won't give you the guns. If there's no market for drugs, they won't give you the drugs. If there's no market for illicit sexual relations with other people and children and ages, minors, all kind of stuff, they would not give it to you. They wouldn't try to traffic and sell them. So we have to really ask some tough questions and say, is there an option in this? Is there a better option? Pick the better option. You know, is there an option? You do. You have a choice to do right or wrong. You have a choice to be good or bad. Adam and Eve had the option also. What choice did they make in the Bible in Genesis? Adam and Eve made a choice, and because of that option they chose, we suffered with it. So did Abraham and Sarah. They had a choice to make, you know, wait for God's promise or take it upon himself to have a child with Sarah's servants, who she said gave him as another wife. God said have one. He then had two, and look what happened. God told Solomon have one wife, and Solomon said, no, I can do 1,000. Look what happened. End up sacrificing children and stuff later on too. I mean, he turned around later on, but the damage is done. David, you know, thou shalt not commit adultery. David, you passion, the desire, the lust is so strong. And, you know, it takes two to tango, right? And she decided too. Before you know it, Uriah is slain, murdered, sent to his own death. The letters from David's hand to him. Made drunk and then made to be suicided. Because sin can make you do some very bad things. Yes. Options. You have an option to be good and to do bad in everything you do. You have an option to help. I can't cover every particular episode and topic in your life, but you know what I'm talking about. You have an option to take or not take. Take or not take. You have an option to relocate or stay. You have an option to leave or to stay. You have an option to sit there and say, I can endure it, or leave. You have an option to stay in an abusive relationship or relationship with, not just with people, with jobs and companies and you know, and works and government entities, agencies, you know. Or you have option to leave. Unless they put a gun to you and take your hand and force you, or they hold you and they stick you and held you, like what I see they did in India in some parts, where they held people and forcibly gave them, you know, accolations and stuff like that, you know. So we have an option. So don't say you don't have an option. Nobody put a gun to you. Nobody's forcing you. If God gave you the freedom of choice, ask God, Lord, what shall I do? And until you get an answer from him, don't budge. Hold the line. Don't budge and say, well, I think God said, well, my friend said, well, the pastor said, well, my congregation said, well, my friend who was a friend of a friend, she said, well, I don't see anything happening. I don't see anything going on. It's only you. I don't see anything here. What you be worried about? I don't see them dying. I don't see them falling down. Is that a... Oh, I'm like, what's that noise? It's the same. It's like a frog or something there. It's the actual barracuda. That thing is strong. Clean the whole bottom of the thing real quick. Good stuff. Yeah, I don't see anything happening. I don't see anybody dying. I don't see anybody dying yet. Sad, yeah, it's sad, all right, but it could have been prevented. They owe people an apology. Better beg for forgiveness and stop taking detox. Stop working on getting yourself cleaned up. Start getting yourself, get back on track. It's not too late. Please be careful. Don't let it happen again. Don't sell your birthright, as I saw in the other video. It's coming up soon. Don't sell your birthright. Don't compromise yourself. Don't compromise your stand. Stand firm. Okay? You have an option. Don't tell me nobody put a gun to your head. Don't tell me that. Don't say that. Then you have no faith. If you say, well, I have faith, but I'm scared. I understand. I'm scared too. I'm scared of some things. But not what man can do to me. I'm scared of what he can do in the end. Because at the end of it, it's him. Jehovah. He the one that makes the final stance. It said, fear not him who can kill only the body, but him who can kill both body and soul, meaning you, the spirit. If God said his breath is gone up my nose, I'm done. So I'm like, and so are you. So do you have an option? Yes, you do.